It's your boy, Dustin from the Flying Chariots, The Rise, with my co-host, Luna. And I got my two other good friends here, natives to Wisconsin. Well, at least Heidi a little bit. But yeah, these guys, Heidi's been on my show multiple times. It's Aaron's first time. He also has a podcast. Is it called Truth Quest? Is that correct? And yeah, and these guys are awesome. They just have awesome theories, good laughs, just awesome. So again, I thought we'd just have a nice, awesome chat today. And I thought maybe we talk about the eclipse that just happened a few days ago. And if anybody had any predictions or they felt anything when they saw it, or how much was the sun covered up where you guys were all located, because we're all kind of spread up. But yeah, Heidi. What's up?
Yeah. Hi. Good to see you both and good to meet you, Luna. Or we'll figure out our connection. The eclipse, you know what? We had a funny Chevy Chase vacation moment with it. We were like, okay, there it is. And then we went on our way. It wasn't, we were like, okay, here we go. It's like, okay, let's go next. But it was a gorgeous day, full, no clouds, no nothing. And we had our little library glasses. And yeah, we could see it. It was just a little crescent at the bottom. I think what the kids and I both remarked, though, how we thought it was great how timely the moon was that day. It was actually on time and where it said it would be, because it usually play WTF the moon because it's in different places all the time now. So we were just laughing at the consistency of the moon that day. So that was what we were doing. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. We're still in spring break. So we're spring breaking.
Oh, perfect. Still. Yeah. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ended up going to my mom's house and with my sister and nieces and my dad. We get the special glasses to see it and stuff. That's pretty cool. And we actually used pasta strainers too. You ever seen that? You use the pasta strainers and and you can actually look at the shadow on the ground. And I thought that was pretty neat for the kids. They're like, oh my God, that's cool. But yeah, we didn't fully, cover the sun from where we were standing at. I know. Aaron, did you witness it? Did you go outside and check it out?
Yeah. Yes, I got a call from my son. He said, "Hey, Dad, what's up, AJ?" He says, "Well, are you gonna watch the eclipse? It's in a half hour." I said, "Oh, I totally forgot all about it." And I was actually driving to my friend's place at the time. When I got there, was right when it was happening, and luckily he has welding goggles, so we were looking at welding goggles, but there was a cloud that came over and it acted as the perfect filter. So I got 4 or 5 pictures of it. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Through the cloud.
Yeah, you got a good picture.
That was my magical. I all the predictions, I didn't, but the guy who I think who predicted the Higgs boson particle died when CERN was started up during the eclipse, I guess.
Oh, really?
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Do. That was a weird one.
Ritualistic, you might say.
Maybe. Oh, man. I heard too that there was a comet that came into the blue dragon tail comet that comes every 70 years. That happened
that's cool.
During the eclipse. Yeah.
That
was kind of eerie. It makes you wonder,
I know. Well, I don't want to dismiss all the woo-woo power of everything, because we've been having some really great, awesome things since the eclipse. So, you never know. Something beautiful, magical. I guess it's what you make of it, your perspective.
And Luna was actually telling me about her little experience.
So I'm a spiritual worker, so I do all that tarot and the candles and stuff. And, I'm always in that community. Unfortunately, I live in Oregon, so it was a cloudy day and I was completely away from the eclipse. So none of us got to see it over here anyway, but we got to see some cool pictures. They were saying a lot of people got sick after the eclipse, and that was their ancestors, guardians, spirit guides' way of cleansing the negativity and protecting you from the energies of the eclipse. eclipse. That's what they say. I don't necessarily know. I got sick afterwards. So did my sister. So did some of my friends. And I'm like, maybe that's why I don't feel so good, because we've got 2 eclipses, a comet, Mercury retrograde, all at the same time. So there was a lot of weird stuff that happened. A lot of people were saying that the earthquakes in New Jersey and New York were because of the eclipse and all this stuff. I don't know about that, but everybody's just attributing this eclipse to mass hysteria, that the world was going to end, all this, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you say, Aaron? Like you've survived another apocalypse, doomsday timeline or something? You've survived a few of them or something. I think you said something. You had a post about that. How you made it through another projected doomsday. Was that you, Aaron, that did that? I think you did.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Who's the other
Oh,
Aaron?
I didn't. I'm getting a
Oh,
little bit of
sorry.
segment that I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear what you were talking to me. What was the question?
I meant your postings after the eclipse. It was kind of funny because you were like, "Oh, I made it through another doomsday timeline."
Oh yes.
Something
Oh
like
yes. The meme. The meme. Yes. Lived through another.
that. I mean,
Not to
those
brag, but I
memes.
lived through 5 world ending. The first one that I never fell for was the Y2K. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
all the
When-
computers are supposed to crash and shit.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand about the whole Y2K thing, because all Windows was supposedly they go back to 1900 and they thought everything would stop working. That's just not logical. But what I didn't understand is it only applied to PCs, but not Macintosh. So why didn't Macintosh sell Apple sell, hey, buy an Apple. You're changing anyway. You might as well get something that doesn't have this inherent flaw.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they didn't. But yeah, that was a total. It was just
a funny one.
just a clock
Yeah.
on a computer, on a confuser. Nothing big.
Yeah. No, like people made it a big deal. And then like even like the is it 2012 where something was about to pop then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like something
Oh,
did
yeah.
go down then. Something happened there. I
Something.
think.
What happened?
Some
What happened,
timeline
Heidi? What
jumpy.
happened?
I don't know. People
And
picked a timeline,
don't
that's
forget-
for sure.
We should all just start getting
Don't
sent
forget
badges
Nibiru.
in the
Nibiru
mail.
is in there somewhere. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, I'm interrupting. I think you're
No,
No,
please
okay.
do. No, please do.
You
Remember
said that was
Nibiru?
a B room?
Nibiru.
Let's all talk at once.
A B room.
Nibiru.
Oh, Nibiru.
It's supposed to
Oh,
be some other
I was
planet.
calling it Nibiru. You mean Nibiru? You said Nibiru.
Nibiru.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nibiru.
Nibiru.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anunnaki. Yeah, coming back.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool. That would like
That is-
stop world wars, everything. Man, it would have been, yeah. Too bad that didn't
Oh.
happen.
There's supposed to be an asteroid coming too. I
Oh.
think that's like today or tomorrow or
Oh, is it
it's
really?
pretty. Yeah.
There's supposed to
I
be
was
like
looking out the window
You're
now.
recording, right? You're recording.
there's supposed to be like a meteor shower of some sort, like a star shower
Ah.
that's like supposed to like be seen from
Meteor.
all parts of the world. It's supposed
Oh.
to happen. I don't know exactly when, but it's pretty big deal. Like you can look up and see like really cool stuff.
No, sweet.
Cool.
We really got to start manifesting the lottery numbers at this point, because like something's got to happen with all these crazy things happening to us
Yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah.
We got to start manifesting stuff right now.
Yeah. And the fact
True.
that like we're already thinking about like if an asteroid did try to come towards Earth, we have technology to knock it off course. And it's pretty amazing too that we can actually do that.
Well, did
Yeah.
you hear that they said that they found a massive meteorite in under Australia that's like over, I think they said like over 400 miles wide or something like that.
Wow.
That might have been the actual asteroid that impacted the planet when the dinosaurs were there. They said it's huge, and I'm like, what? What?
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you hear all different theories of like what
Yeah.
asteroid was the Earth killer.
They
'Cause
just came out with this too, like
Yeah.
last week in the news.
that's so
Oh,
amazing.
wow. I
Yeah.
didn't hear that one.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Do you remember when NASA shot that spacecraft right into an asteroid recently?
Yes.
okay, it changed the trajectory a little bit.
Mhm.
But what it also did is it shot a bunch of rocks out. And now they've plotted those rocks, and they're possibly going to hit Mars in a few thousand years. So once we have our inflatable little colonies, all these rocks are going to rain down on us and poke holes.
Like you can't get away.
We just don't know what we're doing. We shouldn't be doing
Oh my gosh.
anything. We're so, you know.
Yeah.
That's
And it's even
amazing.
worse because they just said that because our pollution is so bad here and like throwing away garbage and stuff, that there is actually garbage on the moon from us.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I-
actually
That's a
our
surprise.
garbage.
There's already 850 pounds of human waste on the moon.
Yeah.
We should
Wow.
clean up.
Those super soldiers. Those super soldiers are shitting.
Yeah. Well, I find it amazing
It's
too
all
that
bagged up.
the fact that even
We're
Earth
messy. We're messy people.
Yep.
collects cosmic dust, like thousands and tons of it a day. And you think that the
Mhm.
Earth, the moon too, is collecting the same shit. And those astronauts get there and it's only like 2 inches. They should have been falling into 80 feet of fucking dust. If that was just, not an atmosphere and nothing that blowed around, Makes
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wonder.
yeah, yeah.
If
Artificial
you Google
structure.
it, a part of our atmosphere is actually spiders. There's a part of our atmosphere that is all made up of spiders.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Mhm.
How
I've
terrifying
heard
is that?
tales of that. I've heard tales of that, like
Oh.
children who are astral or they're seen. It's always about spiders. Isn't that on
Yeah.
Mars too? The
It's funny. It's,
spider colony.
Luna, it's so funny that you said that because there's a new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix that he's in outer space. And it's like he's a serious role. And he's like out there alone. And then he interacts with this giant tarantula. I don't know if it's
Really?
in his mind that these ETs are messing with him for this giant tarantula. So he's interacting with this space tarantula. It's gigantic, right? So it's just funny that you said that. I was like, whoa, where did they get that idea? And when I first saw that that trailer. So I actually want to check the movie out.
I know.
Yeah.
I like Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
They said he's serious in it.
Yeah.
He's serious in it.
It's like a serious role. It's
But
not
he's
funny.
talking to
Okay.
a giant space tarantula.
Yeah, check it out. As I was wigging
Got
me
it.
out, I was like, what the fuck is this? But it just that correlation that you just said that's just kind of, oh, maybe they
Yeah.
heard about
We have
this
a
too.
whole layer of our atmosphere that is just spiders.
Wow. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh.
Cosmic web.
Spiders will eventually take over the world, I think.
Yeah.
Spiders will.
What was
Yeah.
that movie that came out a while ago, back like in the 200s, like giant spiders and fuck.
I think it was called Arachnid,
gosh.
wasn't it? Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia?
No, it's newer than that. But yeah, that one's a good one too. That's a great movie. Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
You're seeing
I want to get a trail cam and train it on my face when I'm sleeping because I'm sure the spiders are having parties on my face every night.
Oh gosh.
They probably
Gosh.
are.
going in and out of his nose.
They say we
Like
swallow
on.
them. They say that we
know.
swallow them in our sleep.
No.
I've heard that too. I just keep thinking, was it Star Trek or Khan, The Life of Khan, or with the earbug, the earwig one? That got me good when I was
Ew.
young. The one that went in the ear, went in their brain.
No.
Oh.
No, thank you.
Aaron, you seem like to be a big movie buff. Are you not? Aaron?
What was that?
Aaron, are you a big movie buff?
A big movie?
Big movie buff. Are you do you like a lot of movies? You seem like a guy that just
Oh,
indulges himself
am I
in
a Big
classical
movie boy?
cult classic
Well,
movies. Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't go to very many movies.
No?
But when I worked at Tonka Toys as a designer, we were
cool.
working on the second year Willow toy line. And we got invited to Lucas Ranch
Oh,
to
cool.
preview the movie
wow.
Willow. We got
That
to
is the
preview Willow.
shit.
I got a shirt,
I
a
love that it
hat,
was right there.
this awesome book.
Yeah, right.
And and here's the Knockmar Castle. So that's pretty cool.
That
And
is
this
so
was the
cool.
first. This was the first movie that had mechanical morphing with computer morphing.
Oh, crazy.
And there's
Oh yeah.
Willow with the little baby. It's so cute, you know?
That's so cute.
But it was great. I was there at Lucas Ranch. It was carpeted. Man, it's just there was midgets running everywhere. Yeah. And
That's awesome.
you know why Lucas uses so many midgets in all his movies, don't you?
No.
Why?
Because they work for half fare. Half wage. No, they don't. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, please.
Small
Hey,
people.
hey, this shows all of the controversial shit. So please, I love the good laughs, man. That's funny.
It's
Humor's
gotta be hard to
allowed.
get into Lucas Ranch.
Pardon?
It has to be hard to get into Lucas Ranch.
Oh, well, I mean, it was a preview of the movie for all the licensors. So everyone who worked for a licensor was there to see the movie before it came out. And it was great because they had the brownies and the Boy Scouts there to get kids' reaction. And Lucas's daughter was there. She was one of the brownies. That's why those characters were called the brownies.
That's
where he got-
awesome.
Yeah, and there's a horrible monster, a two-headed monster.
Yes.
That
yes.
Let me see if I can find that two-headed monster. But the two-headed monster was, they don't show it in here, but they called that behind the scenes when they're making the movie the Ebersisk. That's what they call it, the Ebersisk.
Okay.
And Siskel and Ebert?
Ebersisk. That was what it was called. And if you look at it, it's two heads. They look very phallic. Look like dragon phallic heads.
Yeah.
And so really super. I mean, it's uncanny. But the joke was it's Siskel and Ebert, the two dickheads.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought you were going with that. I remember that.
Yep, that's because they never liked any of Lucas's films. They always gave him the thumbs down, double thumbs down.
That's so funny.
So he shot back at him.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is awesome. And Willow is such a cult classic. I love that movie.
That was a great movie. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to work on. And
then I think
I was working on. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say I think Val Kilmer fell in love with that one redhead and actually got married in real life.
Yeah, Val Kilmer and that actress Saoirse.
Yeah,
she played Saoirse.
Yeah.
Here's Val.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. Who's in there?
He's just like a woman there.
Got a mullet.
There's Saoirse.
Yeah.
She's really pretty.
Yeah, she is really pretty. It still is really pretty. They did that remake of Willow TV series on Disney. And sadly, that just went to one season.
I don't know if it's great.
Yeah, I think it was
really?
They're really pushing the wokeness in that one a little bit.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic. That's why it's great that alternate media is taking Hollywood's place, because it really does need to be replaced. Yeah. I think. I know Heidi thinks otherwise, but I think a lot of the wholesomeness is going to be very hard to keep people back to thinking it's wholesome once all of these terrible secrets come out. And Diddy's not going down without taking a bunch with him, he says.
All right. Sure.
Yeah.
Did you hear about? Did you hear that Disney bought Epstein's Island for $3 billion?
I think that was a
little twisty too. It's like
meme. I thought
that for Pinocchio's children or the Donkey Boys.
I thought they already owned it.
Oh, did they? Oh, Jesus.
I thought they already did, and I know there's other islands that are even more crazier. So there's the whole area down there is plotted out pretty well.
Yeah.
With South submarine entrances.
Yeah, because you had
the Virgin guy, the guy that does the Virgin thing.
Gee, Richard Branson.
The name like that, you can figure,
They're cheap. I was at the Magic Castle here in LA, and I was taken as a date, and there was 10 couples at Mrs. Branson, Richard Branson's mother's birthday party. So I went to her birthday party dinner. I was all decked out, and they passed the bill around everybody. I swear to God. And I was like, that's how the rich get richer. I mean, Richard wasn't there, but it was his mother. It was her birthday. And no one is just like, I got it. Or, it's like, no, everybody paid their fare. What did you have? Some big foo-foo names too. It was funny. That's my Richard Branson story. Our Branson family story. But yeah, he's got a crazy island too. And yeah, got some stories connected to him, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
because you've been in the movie business and TVs, and again, I have to bring up the zombie girlfriend skit. I fucking love it. You know, it is SNL worthy. No, it really is. Like that's what you would see
I
on
had
SNL.
so much fun.
Straight up.
We tried. That's who I rolled with. A lot of skits. We did
God.
little bits,
Yes.
like very Mad TV.
Can you send me some more of those?
SNL.
Do you have any more of those? I'd love to see more
Sure.
because you are so
Absolutely.
good. You were totally in character. And
Could
you're
you
funny.
tell I was a caffeinated zombie?
Yeah, you said you got whiplash for weeks on
I
it because you're whipping yourself around.
I still go to the chiropractor.
You really? Oh God.
I think that's
no,
for other things, but that was
again,
funny.
you're very talented, and that is so cool. You got to do that.
Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah, no, that's really
It
cool.
It was fun.
Have you ever done
Really fun.
improv?
That was my life out here for a while. Yeah, I was
Okay.
in an improv troupe, and I auditioned for Mad TV and worked at iOS, and did a lot of that world. Yeah.
Oh, then
But
it's so
then,
awesome you landed Mad TV.
I just auditioned.
I know, but it'd be cool if you landed it.
Oh, I know. You're supposed to go in and be able to do your characters on their own, and I went in with like 3 garbage bags of costumes. And she's like, "Do you think you can do it without your costume?" I'm like, I could, but it's much better. And I'm like, oh God. That didn't work out very
See
well.
my zombie girlfriend? Brains. You don't have a job?
Those are my only lines.
I know, that's great. I memorized them.
That audition was fun though, because that was I was scouted at one of our improv shows. So that was fun. Feels good even to get that call. You're like,
yeah.
okay.
And even the other people you were working with that day did a great job, and they were funny, and they were like, again,
yeah, some of them are still busy in it.
You could have totally mistaken that as an SNL skit, straight up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then it worked.
Yes. So again, I had to bring it up. Just had to.
That's all good. I love it. Yeah, you were great with that. You brought up memories. That was about 12 years ago, you guys.
Was it?
It was this tiny little 2-minute clip we did for Upright Citizens Brigade. I don't know if you're familiar with that comedy troupe. And it was just low budge, really tiny, but we loved the indies and made it fun, and all our improv buddies were extras, and it was just a funny little short. And then they added like a laugh track stuff to it. So it was silly.
That's awesome. Again, it's just the fact that you had fun with it and just loved it.
That's all we did.
It fits you so well. Yeah. And Aaron, did you do some acting yourself? You seem like you make the little independent, funny skit films. Aaron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. No, I was gonna say, Aaron.
I didn't hear my name.
Oh no, you're good. Aaron. Did you make
funny
skits
things that what?
No, I was gonna ask you. Did you make videos and skits? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did some cable access back in the late '80s, and I co-starred in a space opera called Space Cadets. Cool. There are no sissies in space. So that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I also did a bunch of commercials, fake commercials. And actually that show, both of our shows won awards. We also did a music video show, all on cable access. It was called, and that we shopped that around, and we actually took it from one cable access channel to another, and we brought copies of our tapes to all of the ones around Minneapolis. So we had a potential audience of 3 million people for XTV, Extreme Television, Minnesota's only music video showcase. And we had only music from Minnesota bands. We had Zuzu's Pedals, Run Westy Run. We had Soul Asylum, and a whole bunch of others. And we went to the record companies. We got the tapes from them. A lot of them had never even been to VH1 or MTV, and they were happy to have them aired. So we had a VJ, and we faded them in and out. We did all these green screen stuff for back then. It was really, really cool. That actually went to real TV for a brief time after I'd already moved out here. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
How long ago did you start your podcast?
Oh, that's a good question. Boy, gosh, when did I start it? Gosh, I would have to do some
maybe over 10 years, maybe?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Time is like elusive to me. That's why I invented the time machine here. Did you see that? Did I show you that?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a time
I don't
machine.
think you showed them. Yeah.
Yeah, I invented, more like discovered it, and so yes, now you can go into the future as far as you want, whenever you want. But remember, there's a big warning on there. This is a one-way time machine, so you can take it only into the future. You cannot go back in time. You cannot. So don't go too far into the future. And this time device is complex yet simple, futuristic yet old-fashioned. The way you travel to the future with this amazing time device is as simple as time itself. Time crystals are the key element in this time travel device. And it's very simple. So the instructions here, so you simply, all you have to do is turn the time device over, and when all the time crystals go into the bottom time chamber, you've now transported yourself and everything around you 1 minute into the future. Process takes approximately 60 seconds. But there you go. You can just all day long. Don't waste too much time going into the future, because you can't go back. Can't go back. That's my time machine, and you can find these. They're everywhere, but they're not labeled like time machines. It's in plain sight.
That is great, dude. So I love your little funny spins on shit, dude. That's so awesome. Great.
You like that?
I do. You're very creative in that sense, and like
Thanks.
making up memes and again, I just love your character and the fact that you're from Wisconsin here too. Sturgeon Bay, is that correct? Are you in Sturgeon Bay?
I'm in Sturgeon Bay. I live in Sturgeon Bay. I'm actually, I was born in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then I was raised in Mound, Minnesota, birthplace of Tonka Toys. And now I'm over here in Dirty Sturge.
Well, you know what that is the home. Hey, dude, that's the home of APRO. You know that, right?
Home of what?
Home of APRO, the first UFO organization in the United States.
Oh, that's right.
Coral Lorenzen and her husband Robert.
APRO.
Yeah. Actually, I have actually one of the original hats from the 1970s of APRO. I went like scoured and trying to find all the knickknacks from that organization. But yeah, again, very awesome that Cora Lorenzen she was born in where is it? That starts with a B. I should know this. Northern Wisconsin. Anyways, she had a UFO experience, seeing a UFO when she was 9 years old with a group of friends on the playground. Enough where like just lit a match inside of her. Like she needed to find out what the fuck she saw. And then she, when she got older, organized this UFO organization, the very first one in the United States back in the 1950s or 40s. But again, and being a woman too, at like doing this making a humongous start in the. That's where like MUFON got its start. It was from APRO. So again, like
Oh,
other
from
organized.
APRO. Wow.
Yeah. So again, all these other organizations kind of dropped from underneath APRO. So
Mhm.
again, having Wisconsin being a hot spot for UFOs and having being the birthplace of the organization in the United States, it's kind of like I love Wisconsin.
I know, that's really cool.
I love it. Like there's no way I'm
That's
moving.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still feisty at MUFON. MUFON
Yeah.
took my mom's VHS tapes of everything she
Oh.
saw in Wisconsin.
Oh,
That
that's
was like
bogus.
the 80s, 90s, right?
Oh.
90s? Yeah. Like, whatever. Of course, we didn't think of duplicates at that time.
No shit. Yeah, because your
Anyhow.
mom. I think you told stories last time about,
Mhm.
or I think on another podcast you were talking about your mother and you heard or had experiences near Green Bay or the peninsula there.
Yeah, right by Sturgeon Bay.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's
Yeah.
from Sturgeon Bay. Yeah. Right
Yeah,
north of
'cause-
that, Egg Harbor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you had
both
a-
of us crazy experiences. Yeah, in our first episode on Flying Chariot, when Daniel
Mhm.
taught me how to use my microphone.
He's like, talk into it.
I had the
Get it closer
I was
to your
like,
face.
hello, everybody. It's like it was the best. I wanted to show him I could do it now.
Yeah, no, he's perfectionist.
Yeah, Wisconsin, I think, is a hot spot. And then
Mhm.
I really do. I keep finding more and more people now with the tags Wisconsin and UFOs and contact or experience, or it's flooding me now. I don't know because I'm searching for it, and then now I get all the news feed is full of it. But it seems more and more people are having contact or talking about their contact, or maybe now it's just more accessible because we're all online. But
Yeah.
that's how is it over in Oregon, my dear? Because that's where I had childhood experiences in Portland on the gorge and stuff. I had my
Really? You had
multi-dimensional
experience aliens?
well, more fairies and Bigfoot.
Uh-huh. So I've experienced fairies. I have not seen Bigfoot. There is a little town called Lincoln City in Oregon, which is where I grew up for a little bit, and there is a myth of Nellie. They call her Nellie, and she's basically like a Loch Ness monster that lives in the lake. And I swear that we have seen her a few times, and it's not because we wanted to, but like we thought we saw something. So I have experienced that. I have experienced fairies. I've experienced a troll before. I have not experienced Bigfoot, unfortunately. Like I know that's like our guy. That's like our
I
dude
know.
over, but I have not experienced
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. No, I mean a lot of ghosts and stuff like that, but that's not really,
Sure.
but fairies, a lot of fairies
for sure.
area.
Mine are
Where-
it would be fairies and then a lot of like pixelated orbs, like little golden orbs all over the place. Those are my
Especially in the
Oregon blue.
forest. If you just
Yeah,
go in
that's
the
where I'd be.
forest anywhere, you will experience or hear like bells, whistles, like
Yes.
anything. Never go towards the bells. That's what I've always been told. Never go towards them, but you will hear them.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah.
Run
But you will hear
away
that.
Awesome.
when you hear the bells.
Thank you. This is such
Yeah.
validation because I've been sharing these stories and it's like I didn't have the Oregon connection with anybody.
Well,
To
I
be
want
like,
to hear
"Yeah, I
about
heard that too."
Bigfoot. Well, what was
That
your
was on
Bigfoot
our way.
experience?
Yeah.
It was on the way to Cannon Beach. So we're in Portland going to Cannon Beach and I know there's different arteries. There's one major artery or two, but this was off road a little bit. And it very much is like that random footage you always see, brush is clearing and we're in our Volvo and my dad's usually a very fast driver, but he was going pretty decent. And the thing is I was the only one that saw, no one else in the car, but they validated it. My mom never shushed me. She was like, yeah, you probably saw a Sasquatch. That sounds like a land guardian. They're here to protect the lands and da, da, da. So I was very engaged creatively with my imagination in that sense. But I remember just, before gadgets, you're just looking out the window. And we went all over the place all the time. Or not Volvo, I think our Vanagon. And the brush was cleared, and I just saw what was a furry man walking. And then, like, it's not a man. It's a very, very tall, man. It felt like a man. And I mean, it kept moving, but it was those things where I'm looking out the window and the head turn and makes eye contact that you're just like, zzz, and my whole body was reacting. Like I had this visceral reaction. And that's when I'm like, okay, that was something. And again, if my parents shushed me or didn't believe or anything, then I would have buried it probably at the time. But they really were like, oh yeah, probably. So then I'm like, okay, lock that away in memory storage. And then I was up in Isetti Ranch just a couple years ago, up on, by Hood River there and Trout Lake, the other side in Washington, and had felt the presence there and heard the whoop whoops at night, and you just felt the presence. But that actual walking one, by this time it gets blurred and I'm trying not to think all the images I've seen online, but all I know is you can't mimic that reaction. And that same reaction I would have when I make contact with a ship, or not the scary shadow beings in my room in Wisconsin, but more like ship contact, or feeling the presence of Sasquatch, or, the orbs. I ran into the orbs again just 2 years ago in a cabin in Grafton, Illinois. And I remember that same euphoria. So I was like, these are little moments of contact, I think. But the Bigfoot, it was sweet because it just kept me keeping the motion, but looking directly at my car. And I'm like, and I just felt like special. I was just like, that was for me. And honestly, I didn't know about Bigfoot.
Heidi, you're so fucking cute.
I'm here to entertain you.
That's awesome. That was so good.
The theories.
Sorry, that face against the glass.
I was like, wait.
That's awesome. Aaron,
I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared because I was already having the pixelated ball experience. So yeah, I wasn't scary.
Okay. That's so cool.
I was gonna say, Aaron, have you experienced any Bigfoot sightings here in Wisconsin or anywhere else?
Two sightings in Wisconsin. The first one happened in 1996 on a summer day, spring or summer day. I can't remember exact day. And it looked just like this. It was the sport model. It looked just like the sport model.
Yeah.
And it was finger length, as big as your finger at arm stretch length in the sky. So it was pretty big. I mean, it was pretty big in the sky, and it was zipping at right angles and stopping, and your mind goes, okay, it's not an airplane, it's not a helicopter, maybe it's a hot, a mylar balloon caught in a wind vortex, but a hot air balloon would be like this thing was just crisp in its movement. It was just, and it stopped and it would change direction, and I thought, holy crap. I got out of my car. I was on Highway 29 from Wisconsin to Minnesota. I was in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And I got out of my car and I'm looking at this thing. Holy crap moly. And I thought, wait a minute. I got my video camera in the car and it's fully charged. I grabbed it. I hit it was a Sony Handycam, the little mini DVDs or DV tapes. And I hit the thumb on button. It powered up and then it powered down. Did not get one single frame. And then that ship just went off. It was totally silent. It went like at light speed. It was gone. I thought, my luck. Just no witnesses. Now no frame. So I'm the crazy guy. But then
those ETs saw you with the camera. They were like, boom.
They're like,
and they're like,
Years later, I'm driving in Sturgeon Bay, downtown Sturgeon Bay, at the YMCA, dropped off someone at the YMCA, and someone else was with me in the car who I'm not supposed to say who it is. But as we were pulling out of the parking lot, still in the parking lot, it was 8:30 at night. Now, this one I saw was daytime. I saw it clear as day, hardly any clouds. It was very clear. This was at night, 8:30 at night, so it was very dark. But at treetop level, there were two gigantic lights, and each light was about as big as a VW. like a bug, but a white light and a red light. And they were just moving across the sky in a very smooth, eerie, smooth, kind of a very silent, smooth manner. And I stopped my car. Me and this other person who was with me got out, and we started taking pictures with our digital cameras. I tried to get video footage. Nothing showed up. These things were gigantic, but they weren't lighting up the tops of the trees. It was a weird kind of light where it didn't really shine on anything, but it was really bright to you. And
like a hot coal or something.
it was weird because the other person got 4 pictures of it, and I had to blow it way up, and it was actually a cluster of lights. Each one was a cluster of lights, but 2 cars stopped as we were taking pictures of this thing, and they said, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, if it's flying and you can't identify it, guess what? It's an unidentified flying object." So 2 cars stopped. We definitely saw this. They saw it too. And we got some pictures, even though the pictures were very minuscule compared to how gigantic they were. And I was looking at it, filming, going, there it is, but it's not there. It was so weird. But this other person said to me, got back in the car and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I saw a UFO. This is so exciting. This is awesome. I'll never disbelieve you ever again. I can't believe this is so exciting." A week later, that person said, "Don't ever tell anybody what we saw." To this day, and I don't even know why that person doesn't want to talk about it. So they're second chance for a witness, and there you go.
Even after everything being so normalized lately, they still don't want to. You know, like it's been in the news, and everyone's like, it's made a joke in commercials, and they still don't want to like come forward, do they?
No, this person does not want to talk. Doesn't even want to talk about why they don't want to talk about it. So it's.
Wonder if the aliens visited them.
What can I do? I can't do anything.
Ooh,
except
good thought.
Search for better witnesses. Please, someone follow me around with a camera. No.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But
man.
But those really did happen, and there was witnesses for the second one. So
it's the best when you actually have somebody else with you that sees the same thing. It just clarifies that you're just not
right. Someone with me that saw it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Thank God. Man, I don't know. It's trippy. And again, Wisconsin is such a hotspot, and especially if you had these 2 sightings here. Like
2 sightings.
Like Elmwood. I heard that just the residents of Elmwood, like every other person has seen a UFO there. And as a resident, it's just like, whoa.
A lot of people have seen UFOs around here. And when I started my cable access, the UFO show up here in Sturgeon Bay years ago, we had lots of people calling in. They didn't want to come on because they were afraid they'd lose their job from something they saw back in the 50s. So, and the chief of police ended up, I think I told you about this. Our show aired 3 times. And people were coming from Green Bay because you have to be in the area to watch this as cable access. We had people coming up from Green Bay to watch it. And then I got a call from the chief of police, which I lived a block and a half away from. And he was screaming at me at the top of his lungs, "Listen, Moriarty, you stop that UFO show of yours, or I'm going to throw you in jail, throw away the key. No one will ever know where you are." And he was yelling at me. I said, "But officer, don't you officer me." And it's like, really? So they just did not, and they refused to air any more of my cable access shows, which they can't really do. I wasn't breaking any rules. But yeah, so when I found out you could do shows on the intranet, that's when I thought, well, my local government can't turn that, But then my YouTube page got
I know
down.
Shit.
So I had thousands of people on there, and It was going really good, starting to make a little money. Like YouTube's the only place you can make money on.
Right.
And that wasn't my initial thought, but it was working. And
it's a perk.
But now I'm on Rumble because, I don't know. I hope that you don't get taken down for having me on here.
Oh,
Dustin.
no, come on. You haven't said anything
I
too
might be
crazy.
I might be blacklisted. I've interviewed some people on my show, and I want to have you on my show, Dustin.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
But
we can schedule one.
One of the people I've interviewed is Andrew DiBishago. You've heard of him, right?
It sounds familiar. I'm good with faces.
Okay, so he's Andrew DiBishago is a chrononaut and time traveling person from DARPA's Project Pegasus and DARPA's Project Mars.
Yes, I've heard of this. Yes.
Yeah, and so I contacted him when I started my podcast, probably 2-3 years ago, whenever it was, and he told me that because he hadn't done a show in like 3 years at the time when I contacted him, and he said, "Okay, I want to do a podcast with you, Aaron," and I said, "Well, but Andy, my channel is very small. I don't have very many people following me. Your story is amazing. You should be in front of more eyes." He goes, I don't really care about that. I want to work with you." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you know my story well. I like your style. And in one of my trips to the future, I saw your name." When he was in Project Pegasus, he saw my name spelled out. He does not remember what it was in context to. I asked him, what was it in relation to? He goes, "I don't know, probably your journalism." I said, "Journalism? I've never even had a journal." What are you talking about? But yeah, he's a nice guy. And so he does his show on my channel. It's called The Quest for Truth with Andrew DiBishago. And we're going to do a couple more shows coming up. One on his landmark 2008 Discovery of Life on Mars paper from studying Curiosity rover's Gigapan picture, and his 100 presidential proposals that he wrote when he ran for president. So, yeah, he's an amazing guy with 4 witnesses who've come forward to verify his story. So incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I love those
interviews. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I forgot I was gonna say. No. I was gonna say, like, the physical, these physical contacts I love the most. Like, I think we might have mentioned this a few times, that Joe Simonton from Eagle River, Wisconsin, 1961, where he was sitting in his kitchen eating lunch, and he just happened to look out the window and he sees this like dark silverish UFO just slowly come down like an elevator and lands on his driveway. And he runs out, and this door opens, this UFO, and this human ET comes with a tight blue jumpsuit, and he had like olive skin, like an Italian man, and he had an empty jug, and he's just motioning for water. And the guy's like, Joe is very confused still, and he's trying to get a conversation out of him, but he had these very penetrating eyes where you couldn't really look at the guy straight in the eyes. Or again, he fetched this water for this alien, brought it back, and he noticed there's 2 other aliens in this craft that were over this flameless grill, and they were making pancakes. And for the exchange of water, this guy, the extraterrestrial, grabbed a few pancakes and gave them to Joe. And Joe's just like, "What?" He's like, "Do you want me to eat this?" And he like took a bite of one of them, and he like said it tasted like a piece of cardboard. And yeah, again, he was trying to communicate with them. No words were being said, and he jumped into the UFO and just blasted off. And he's just sitting there with a handful of greasy pancakes. And he went to, I think, with authorities, and he went to some scientists to get these things analyzed by like food scientists or whatever the fuck, and found out they were regular buckwheat pancakes, but didn't have any trace of salt And that's impossible because everything on Earth that's organic has a trace of salt because of our oceans. So it makes you think that these might have been made off planets. And that doesn't mean that buckwheat could be on different planets or trees and different planets. Like we could have say have this stuff here we have on Earth. It could be on different planets. So again, maybe then that planet did not have salt. So it kind of makes you wonder a little bit.
I want aliens to deliver me pancakes.
Yeah, right. I'm just actually trying to find a photograph of Joe here. There he is.
Wow.
He's holding up one of his
There
little greasy pancakes.
Wow.
He actually wrote a book about his experience. Again, just he's in total shock. The fact that like they were human, they look Italian to him in these tight blue jumpsuits. And yeah,
So
again,
great.
if you think about it, I would do something crazy too if I was an ET. I would go down and just fuck with somebody, right? Have these people just be like, "What the fuck did I just?" And actually have physical evidence of this too. Yeah. And if you think about it, how do you think communion got started in Christianity? And Catholics and shit. The exchange of water for a little wafer has some ET ties. It could.
I don't know. Very well.
I know. I just like to ponder
they're coming here for the syrup. That's what they're coming
right.
here for. The maple
syrup. Wisconsin had the syrup over here.
Yeah.
It's so true. That's awesome.
I love that story. I love that one.
Is that guy. It's such a it's so good. And there's another guy too. This is more of a modern case where I forgot his last name, but his name is Bob, and he lives in Poland, Wisconsin. It's near Green Bay. It's a tiny town. And this guy claims that UFOs and aliens have been landing and hovering over his property for years. So much so that he built a gigantic spaceport in his backyard to entice these aliens to land on it. And it's just
you have that picture?
I do. I'll find it here.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
Again, he takes people on tours and just tells his story. And again, the fact that this guy is trying to entice, here it is. Isn't that funny? Look at this shit.
The best.
It has everything an alien needs, like cable TV, George Foreman grill. I don't know.
I love it.
That's funny. And if anybody wants to go and check it out for themselves, there is the directions.
Best.
Boom, boom, boom.
Perfect. Dun, dun, dun. Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
Not cool.
Road trip.
Yeah, Heidi, when you're coming into Wisconsin, because I think we should all plan to meet up here in Wisconsin, Madison. I don't know if that's a cool destination.
Sure. Heck yeah.
Yeah, have some dinner or lunch somewhere and just kick the shit, just
yeah.
I want to meet Aaron too. If we can all make that happen this summer, that'd be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, my sister's fully staffed now, Aaron. She doesn't need me anymore. My sister has a cute little business in Sturgeon Bay, and my family's still there, Luna. So we go back. And last summer we only went 2 weeks. We were supposed to be there almost a month. And this summer I'm like, I'm going the whole summer. I'm going to work. And now it'll probably just be another 2 or 3 weeker. But we don't know yet if it's I want to go 4th of July. It's just the best place to be 4th of July, I think, weekend. So trying to time that one. The kids and I are going to VidCon. Here in Anaheim. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Christmas gift. And they're excited because they're all into it. They want to be YouTubey, and I'm like, I'll solicit guests.
That's awesome.
I'll schmooze. And so we might come right after that, which is the first week of July.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll let you know though.
Yeah, please, because then I can schedule time off from work if I end up working that weekend or whatever the hell. Yeah, because I want to totally take off days to come socialize with you guys and be with. I want to meet you guys in person.
I know, right?
Your energy.
She used to live in Madison too. I wish we could. Yeah, it's so funny. We never know. We could have randomly done something. That's cool. I love watching. So Top Chef. I watch reality shows still. Top Chef's in Milwaukee. So they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Actually, I did hear about that.
Yeah, they just did the Door County Cherries, and
Oh,
they're
that's so
doing
cool.
they've done cheese curds and all that. But I'm obsessed. They just did the Frank Lloyd Wright tour. So if anyone, I love
Oh,
Frank Lloyd Wright.
yeah. Actually, we have a
And
few.
so,
He's a block away from my house. Actually, at one of his
oh
houses.
really?
Hmm.
Oh gosh,
My
yeah. They
dad's
did
friend.
that route. Hmm.
My
Go
dad's
ahead.
friend gives house tours for the Frank Wright houses here in Madison.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's really cool.
awesome.
Mhm.
Madison has a ton. And
They
then they
do,
have his
yeah.
huge compound between Milwaukee and Madison, I think's there. Or on the other
Mhm.
side of Madison, that huge compound. I'm obsessed with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I want to look at I don't know why I brought that up,
Well,
but Top Chef.
It's just down this block from my house. So if you ever want to check it
Hey,
out,
yeah,
and my dad's
totally.
friend does tours, so yeah, definitely can hook you up.
Totally. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
man. What time is it now? All right.
We
About
got
an
more
hour.
lighthouses than any other county in America up here in Door County. More
Oh yeah,
lighthouses.
that's
Isn't
so
that
cool.
great?
Yeah, isn't it
Washington
like
Island's my favorite. Mhm.
yeah? Isn't it like a
But go ahead.
I was gonna say Michigan Lake Triangle. You ever heard of that? Where like this ships and people just be missing.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of it and I get it. And there's that's the thing. There's so much contact that's both military, like ours, theirs. It's a hub. And then when you look at it
Yeah.
from the maps, it does. I mean, it's like a bullseye. I mean, it's all the waters, the peninsulas you can go on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a good
It stands out
place
from
to-
space for sure.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Heidi, did you ever
Yeah.
hear that they were hiding nuclear bombs under there during the war?
I think you told me that on one of our
Oh,
show
okay.
when something we've done.
Whoa.
I think you
Whoop.
said something.
Burning
Yeah.
rumors.
No. Oh no. I thought I think you asked me then. I didn't know. Were those the mounds? Didn't you say there's mounds too that was there's stuff hidden under those?
No,
No, that was a different topic we
In the
did. Real
caves,
estate.
in the caves above the lake, like in the
Okay.
in the rock, up in Gills
Okay.
Rock. That's where I heard it was.
Nukes? Wow.
Something,
Mhm.
maybe weapons. I'm not sure what it was, but could be. Military trucks drive up, but they never drove back.
Isn't that okay?
Oh,
And I
that's
have
weird.
heard that. Yeah.
And there was only
Underground
one
base
way to go.
entrances
You
and
can't.
stuff. Yeah.
If you go down Gills Rock, I mean, that's the end of the line there. Who knows where they went?
Hey, Aaron,
No.
you should check out this independent film. It's pretty. It's got a funny edge to it, but it interviews a lot of people from here in Wisconsin, especially around Dundee, about the UFO. Are you writing it down there, Aaron?
Yeah,
I see you with a pen. I
Dundee
see.
project.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, check this out. Check this guy out. He's
Mark.
the director is originally from Wisconsin, and he's done other stuff too. You probably seen him. He's been on David Letterman and other place. Yeah. Again, it's kind of got this little funny edge to the UFO phenomenon here in Wisconsin.
Okay,
I just had to
interesting.
share that with you. Yeah. Well, hey,
But-
it's been about an hour when we wrap it up for today because that was just great. Just having some good laughs and just catching up with everybody here. That was so fun. Can you stick with us for 2 more minutes?
Yeah. Luna, nice meeting you.
Yeah.